Well, here I am driving an hour and a half to get a roadie gig. Now, normally, about halfway there, I'll find out if I got it or not. Of course, they're looking for somebody to pick it up as quick as possible. So I live in Wenatchee. About halfway there is Chelan. But after I get to Chelan, I won't have cell phone signal for 10 minutes. So it's kind of a dead spot. And if I don't get it before I hit Chelan, I'll have to wait till I get past it up on the hill where I have cell phone signal again to find out if I got it. About a week ago, I finally got cell phone signal and the gig disappeared. I said, well, I guess I didn't get it. So I made a U-turn. And then I thought, well, I better double check. So I looked at messages and it said, you have been accepted for one gig. And then it popped up on my screen that I was driving one gig. So it's a good thing I double checked, because otherwise I would have headed home thinking I didn't get it and lost out on $100 and some gig. So it's an hour and a half there. It's an hour and a half to do the gig, and about 3 hours home. So 3 hours for $130 some. It might go up a little bit by the time I get accepted for it. So who knows? It could be $135, $140. I don't mind. Sometimes I think it's better than just sitting at home hoping to get something local. And they have similar gigs go in a different direction from where I live, but they usually start at $40 or $50, which is not worth 3 hours of driving. So once they get up to around $75 or over 100, I'll take them. So I'll keep you posted. I still have 10 or 15 minutes before I get to Chelan. I don't actually get to the town, I just go by it. But after that, it'll be a dead spot, so I hope I get it before then. But I'll continue this video when I find out if I got it or not. Looks like we're heading into some fog. It's right along the river. This is the river over here. You can't see it because it's so foggy. But if you go away from the river, perfectly clear, the sun shining. So we're heading into it. I don't think it's going to be too bad because I just rode through some. It's mostly just right above the water. Get the phone here in the carrier, see what we have going here. I think it's just following the path of the river. We're starting to get some warmer weather. It's supposed to be in the 50s today instead of the 20s, so that'll be nice. Yeah, I think the way the river goes, that's where the fog is. Well, maybe not completely, because this isn't the river right in front of me, and it's pretty darn foggy. Maybe I will be driving it through it here in a minute. Yeah, looks like a nice fog bank coming up. But I don't think it's too bad. I see a truck coming out of it. I have driven in fog so thick you couldn't see 50 feet in front of you. It's not safe. You can't see if anybody stopped. And you can't slow down too much because somebody will rear end you. So you kind of just have to slow down a little bit and keep driving. I hope you don't hit somebody and hope nobody hits you. This isn't too bad. I can still see a ways. A city block. Far enough if somebody pulls out or somebody stops, I can stop. I don't know if this is going to go all the way along my journey because I'm following the river quite a ways. But I will be getting up to a higher altitude pretty soon, so it'll probably go away, I would assume. You never know about fog. Yeah, it's pretty much cleared out right there. One time I was driving up, I won't call it a mountain, but a big hill. And something about the temperature and humidity, it instantly fogged up all of my windows all the way around the vehicle. And I had no idea what happened. I was just like, all of a sudden I couldn't see anything out of any window. And I hit my brake to slow down because I had my cruise control on. I was going 70 miles an hour. Finally the thought struck me, well, I don't know if it's on the inside or the outside of the car, but I'm turning on the windshield wiper, and sure enough, it cleared off my front window so I could see. But that was about 5 seconds of being scared to death, going 70 miles an hour, and it was a 4-lane highway, and you couldn't see anything. Yeah, looks like the fog's pretty much clearing up, so onward and upward. Well, I got the gig. It took a lot longer than normal. There's a town called Pateros. I got there, I still hadn't heard. Next town was Brewster, still hadn't heard. I got outside of Brewster. I'm about 20 to 30 minutes away from the Home Depot, and I finally got the start gig message. So I guess they were waiting as long as possible, hoping somebody closer would take it. So now I'll get there by 10. Then I have about an hour and a half delivery, and then heading home. But of course I'll check the app. Maybe there'll be another one out of Omac where I'm headed, and I'll swing back that direction and take it if I can get it. Anyway, it's $133, so it's worth 6 hours of driving, and I get to deduct my mileage, so that makes up for everything, because that pays for my expenses, so the money I make is in my pocket. Thanks for watching. Have a great one. If you've never driven from Tonasket, Washington to Republic, Washington, this is the road. It's kind of pretty. It's up here in the mountains. I see there's lots of snow here, which you would expect in the mountains. It's a pretty windy road. Right now I'm going 60, 65 to be exact. Speed limit 60, but there are a lot of curves where you have to slow down to 45, 30, 35, so it's not a boring drive. It keeps you on your toes. It's just pretty. I like doing this drive in the daytime, but not so much at night. When it's dark, you really have to pay attention because there's a lot of wildlife. And by wildlife, I mean deer. There's probably some elk up here too. Look at that. Wakanda. I think I took a wrong turn. Isn't that in Africa? Anyway, it makes for a nice drive. I'm doing a Home Depot delivery, and see there, speed limit 60. But we'll be coming up here pretty soon where the road will get pretty curvy and the speed limit will drop down. And the road's pretty nice. I stopped about 10 minutes ago. There's a little store out in the middle of nowhere. They have all kinds of snacks, beverages, ice. I even saw that they had pig and sheep feed now. So she said I was there just a little after 10:30. She said I was the first customer of the day. But as we talked, it all adds up. And she said she's glad she opened the store because she makes a lot of money. But it is out there like 10 or 15 miles from town, so like she said, if people go to town shop and they forget something, they can run in there and grab it. It's just like a small grocery store like they used to have back in the day in small towns. Snacks, beverages, probably cigarettes, I'm not sure about that. Beer, pop. Anyway, I stop there whenever I can. Now here we go, down to 40 miles an hour. You can see by the trees we're kind of up in the mountains. It's not such a fun drive in the winter either if it's a snowstorm, because it can get pretty nasty up here. I've driven it when there's snow on the road and you have to put it in 4-wheel drive and have some common sense. But it's a nice drive. If you live in this area, you've probably driven it a lot. But if you're not from around here and you ever get to this area, take a trip to the Republic. It's a pretty small town, off the beaten path. I'm only doing this gig for Home Depot because it pays $133. I had to drive an hour and a half to get to where the gig was. And I didn't find out until I was a half hour away that I got it, but sometimes it's worth the chance. And if all else fails, there's a nice casino there where I can go and lose some more money. I like these trips, especially when I don't see deer on the road and I have to slam on my brakes or swerve. But you see a lot of places where people have hit deer. You can see the remnants on the highway or the carcass on the side of the road. And you see a lot of vehicles with smashed front ends, broken headlights. Pretty good sign they hit a deer. Alright, now today our weather's supposed to get up in the 50s. I'm sure here in the mountains it's only in the 40s, but at least you don't have to worry about ice on the road. That's when it gets dangerous. Well, I'll just record this for a little while, and then I'll post it after a while. Well, probably when I get home and I have my Wi-Fi signal. I do have a 4-wheel drive Trailblazer. You can put it in 2-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or 4-wheel drive low. Right now I'm just in 2-wheel drive. Beautiful sunshiny day. You heard a minute ago, that's my radio kicking back in. I have Pandora going, and I can tell when I have a signal, my radio comes back on. More curves coming up. You can see the melting snow on the highway. It's been really cold here for a couple of months. Barely above freezing. For a week there it was down around 8 or 10 degrees. And there goes my phone. Just fell off the dash. So I'll have to pull off the side of the road and find my phone. Oh, you gotta love when that happens. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Whenever my dash gets warm, for some reason, the suction loses its grip, the suction cup, and that's the second time in the last week my phone has decided to fall off the dash. last time I wasn't making a video. It's kind of a pain when it happens though, because I use my phone for my deliveries, and now I have to pick my phone up off the ground wherever I'm flying to. I'll have to clean that suction cup a little better, I guess. And maybe I'll have to get some oil and grease remover, clean the dash. Somebody might have put some of that stuff on it because it is kind of shiny. Maybe it'll have better suction and won't fall off when I'm in the middle of a drive or the middle of a video. Kind of startles you when it falls off too. Well, I guess you get the idea. Lots of trees, curves, mountains. But it's a nice drive. I like driving up here. I don't come up here very often. I used to come up here more, but it seems like somebody else is always getting the gigs and I don't get them, so I don't make the journey. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Well, I thought I'd make a little continuation of my village, or my trip, because I got off the main road and now I'm on a dirt road covered in snow. So, we're going to go into four-wheel drive. Speed limit's 25. Yeah, this is just a little bit different than what I was driving on. I think I have about 10 minutes left in my trip, maybe 15, and I can see why, because you can't go very fast on this road. But this is what you run into. I took a trip the other day and I took a dirt road, and by the time I got done, it was a pretty good sized road, better than this one. It didn't have snow on it, but it was clay and it was all wet. And the time I got done, my silver vehicle was mostly brown. I had to run it through the car wash to get all the junk off of it. I'm gonna have to go through the car wash when I get back home after this trip. But I signed up for one of those so much a month unlimited car washes, any car. So every day I get one car wash. It can be any vehicle, so I can keep all three of our vehicles clean. Well, I'm going to end this video now. I got to get back to my map so I can see where I'm going and where I'm going to turn. This is what you run into with roadie gigs. You never know where you're going to end up. Well, there's something that you don't expect to see in the road. Somebody lost a log off their vehicle. Somebody better move that, and it won't be me before night, because if you hit that sucker going 30 miles an hour, you're going to be in for a surprise. Looks like they've cut some trees down here that must have fallen across the road. And they were probably hauling them away, and that one fell off their truck or trailer. Interesting.